Well, hi, welcome to my latest video. Well, this video is going to be part 2A of my off-site NAS server build. Now, originally I meant to have part 2 in its entirety, do the entire build of the PC, or server in this case, right? However, after I looked at it and mapped out what I was going to do, it would just be too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm breaking it in two parts, a 2A and a 2B. The 2A will cover the population of the motherboard. So the motherboard itself, this ASRock's motherboard, it'll get the CPU on it, it'll get the memory on it, it'll get the M.2 drive, and anything else that's needed to get the motherboard to function as an individual unit. This will end, part 2A that is, with me testing all of those components together. Putting it here on the bench, connecting it up to probably a screen capture, and see if it all works, okay? In part 2B, then we'll put everything in the case, including the hard drives and anything else that goes in there, fans, whatever, okay? So, with that, let's get started and see how it goes. Okay, I'll start by putting the heatsink, this Warship Heatsink Pro, onto the M.2 cache SSD. Okay, this is 500 gig. As I recall, let me see what it says here. It's a 500 gig, yes. So I can open this thing up first. This is all anti-static. Take these screws out of here. This heatsink was used before, which is why it already has the pads on it. I'm just going to be careful not to crunch this after I remove the last screw. I'm going to be very careful about that. There we go. That's the opening there for the screw. So what we'll do here is we'll take this and put it in here like this. Got to leave the label on, right? And we can see the screw hole there. Push this up a little bit. And that should be good. Let me put the screws back in. I squeeze it a little bit as I do this. I actually like these type of heat sinks. They get the job done, they're inexpensive, and they keep the thing cool, right? Main point. Put that on the side, and now let's get the motherboard going. Take it out of its bag. Now, I didn't film it, but I did check the battery on this. It has a battery over here with a cable that connects it to a connector back underneath here. So what I did is I pulled that little connector off inside there, and I took my needle nose probes and checked it. It's not new, but it's good enough. It's within specs, about 2.6 volts. So we got this like this. Let me get the CPU. There we go. And this is, just to double check, i5 8600K. I will open this up. It looks fairly clean. There's a little bit of something over here. I'm just going to scrape off with my fingernail. There we go. From the bottom, it looks okay. I don't see anything unusual about it. No burnt spots. That's what I'm looking for here. Are there any burnt spots in here? I don't see any. Tilted one way then the other. Okay, it's going to go in this way, into here. So what I'll do is let me use this to keep it steady here. And then we'll open this guy up. Now, I don't like to do the trick. I once ruined the motherboard doing that, where you leave this cover on here, put the CPU in, and then let it push out. I like to take it out from the top. Let me get it oriented right for that. And I like to get it out of the case. There we go. Just be careful not to touch the pins, right? And we're going to save this in the box for future use if necessary. Let's orient this thing around. I did check the pins, but we'll do it again. We take this up and we slant it one way and then the other. We can see if any pins look like they're out of place or bent. You can use a flashlight if you'd like to see it even better, but don't hold the flashlight over the socket. Take it from the sides, one side, and then the other side, and check out all the pins. Looks good. Now we have over here the little gold arrow. That's right here. You actually see it better on the top. You see the arrow printed here, okay? And we got the gold arrow on the CPU here. So we'll just carefully put it in place. I like to wiggle it one way to the other. And then I quickly close this so I don't have to worry about those pins anymore. Make sure you get this underneath the screw. At least that's what an Intel. And we get this little thing. Now we're safe. So what I'm going to do next, let's get the M2 in. So it already has a screw in here. We'll take that out. We'll take the M2 and we'll drop it right in there at a 45-degree angle. Well, 30 to 45 degrees, somewhere in there. Get it all the way in the socket and then carefully lower it down. And you can see where the screw is going to go. Magnetic screwdrivers are a real help on this. And get it right in there. Wiggle a little bit and then tighten it up. And it's in place. Okay, not going anywhere. Like I said, I like this motherboard because it has a total of 6 SATA ports, 4 here and 2 here, which would be perfect for a NAS. Okay, the next thing I'll do, hopefully it's not a problem later on, but I'd like to get it out of the way now. I'll put the memory in, this Aegis memory, 32 gig that I had on my shelf, right? Take it out of the package, and I like to turn it this way. Now there's only 2 sockets, so it doesn't really matter which ones I do first, but we do have to make sure that we get the notch properly. Okay, so that looks like that's it right there. And like I said, there's one little problem with this motherboard. It's missing a latch at this end, a fixed latch right over here. See, there's 2 of them here. One has the latch, the other one doesn't, but these don't move anyway, so it shouldn't matter. I like to double check to make sure that we're in the notch. Here we are. So the memory notch is matching the socket. And then we click it, and we should hear 2 clicks if we're doing it right. Yep. Let's take the other memory. Do the same thing. Put it in like this. Go for the 2 click. We'll find out. Now at this point, I think the next thing to do is to put the cooler on. Now before I put the cooler on, I've got to change the bracket for the 1151 socket that particular CPU and motherboard has. So I have the cooler over here. Already got the fan attached to it, right? The Thermalrlght. I'll leave this on for now as I work on it because I have to take off these brackets and put on the brackets for the 1151 according to the manual. Okay? Okay, so I have to take this cover off anyway because they're blocking the screws. So I'll peel that off for now. I got to take off these brackets. I don't want the thing to fall on top, so I'm going to hold it as I unscrew. Move that out. Take the screw out. Do the same thing over here. That out. Take the screw out. Okay, these brackets are for the 1700. It says it right here. So that's why it came with those already on it, but I got to put on the ones that are for the 1151 and similar size to that. There's also AMD brackets, but we're not going to be using those. So I got to put these on, just like I removed this one. I'm going to start with a screw. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And we're done with that. Okay, now I got some isopropyl alcohol, 99%. And I've got some 2x2 inch little cotton pads. I like to use those for this. I'm going to clean up this, just in case there's fingerprints or whatever on there. Get some alcohol on the pad. Give it a nice little cleaning. And I'll use another one to dry it. Okay. I'll put this aside now and I'll bring the motherboard back. And I'll clean the top of the CPU. Put some more alcohol on this. We'll clean this up. Isopropyl alcohol is desirable because it dries quickly. There'll be no real water left behind after doing this. Clean this off really good. This is a used CPU. Okay, I think that's good. So let's get the cooler. And what we got to do is we got to first put these screws that they gave us. There's a short end and a long end. Let me make sure I get that right. That way the rubber piece here is against the motherboard. So we'll do that. And all 4 of these. Finger tight's good enough. It's got thumb screws there. Tighten them up. We got one more to go. Let me move these over out of the way. I have the MX4 from Arctic. That's what I use. I have a bunch of it. There's MX5, and I think there might be an MX6, recommended by one of my most dedicated viewers. So I'll just give myself a little X here. Some people might think that's too much, okay, but it does not conduct electricity. I just want to make sure I get enough. I will take the cooler now and go down on top. We gotta turn the whole thing over without letting it come apart. Okay. We want it like this, like that, and then we want to get that started. And they give you this tool. It's for a regular screwdriver. Oops, the other nut flew off, the extra one. Let's move it now, it should not be a problem. And then I have to take this tool with a screw, my hand at first, and I'll just try to tighten them, alternating a little bit at a time. Back and forth. Get them fully finger tight. If you want to use a screwdriver to tighten it, you can. I'm not going to do that. I think it's good enough like this. It feels nice and snug, and I think we're good. Okay, so now I'll plug the fan in, and I'll have to use a tie wrap later on for this to hold this all together. There are two connectors. Let me see which one is which. CPU fans, this one on that side. There's a CPU fan right here. Be nice to do it the right way. There we go. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is put this on top of the box because I want to start connecting it up and do a quick test. So I'm going to take the box. I can hold it by the fan now, take it up by the fan. I'm putting this part here where the connectors are, the back, so I can hook up whatever I want to hook up to it. And I got to get a power supply, and that's what we'll do next and connect up to this. We'll use the actual one that'll be used in the final product to make sure it all works together. Okay, move this over a little bit. I got the power supply here, small form factor, 450 watts. Okay. And I've got, I think the cables I need, that's the main 24 pin. This one here is the CPU. Let's double check that. Yep, CPU. And this one is a SATA that I'm going to need to test this. And one other, of course, the power connector for the power supply, okay? So let me undo these things and hook them up. Push this aside for a second. Let's connect these guys up to here. So the main one comes in two parts, just like any other ATX power supply. We have two connectors, we got to put them in. One here, one there. Okay. And then we have, here's a SATA. So that's going to go under peripheral / SATA. We'll put that one in. Then we have one that is the CPU. Yep. And that one will go here where it says CPU. Okay. And that's on the power supply. Let me put the main power switch on it as well. I won't plug it in yet. It's actually on. Let me turn it off. Okay. Don't want that happening. And then we got to connect this stuff up to the motherboard. And one SATA drive I have that has Windows on it. It'll be plugged into that as well. Okay, so I'll start with the main one here, 24 pin. Get that guy in there. We have to put it down on the table to get these in. Let me do that for now. There, snapped in place. The SATA can just sit over here. I don't have to plug it to anything at this moment. The CPU one, though, has to connect over to here. And it clicked. So let me put this guy back on the box. And then I'll hook it up to test it, and we'll see how it goes. Let me connect up the various cables to it. Let me back this up a little bit here, because I want to move it out of the way. Okay, and I want to put the keyboard and mouse in here. I have one sitting right here next to me, and I'll hook them up. So the keyboard and mouse probably will go over here. I have a HDMI, I'll hook that up. And what the heck, I have a network one here too. I'll hook that up. Let's see what we get. Let me plug in power. Let me connect up this SATA drive with Windows on it. I'll need SATA power for that too. So I'll bring that around this way, put SATA power on it. There, and I'll connect up this SATA connector to, doesn't really matter, I'll connect it over here, to the end one over here. I think that will do it. Well, I don't like using a screwdriver to power it on. I know that's what most people do, but I'm going to hook up this switch here. All I need to hook is the power on switch, which is the yellow one, right? Yeah, I think it's the yellow one. Nope, take that back. Yeah, it is the yellow one. Yeah, just the power on switch is all I need right there. And I'll hook that up to where it goes. I think that's it. Find out in a minute. Okay, I've turned on the power supply and I'm about to hit the power on switch. I'm gonna try to get right into the BIOS if possible. Okay, ready, let's go. It's going, the fan is turning. Here we go. There we go, right into the BIOS, good. Well, CPU temperature, 41 degrees centigrade. Motherboard, 33. It looks pretty good here. I see both memory DIMMs, 16 gigabytes each. I see my 2.5-inch drive with Windows 10 on it. That's the PNY is SATA 3 under 2. Oh, and I see the M.2 drive. They had a 500 gigabyte drive that's there. So I think we're okay to go ahead and try to let this boot into the operating system. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go in here and go into advanced mode. I'm going to say exit. I'm going to discard changes and exit. I didn't make any changes to this. Let's see what we got. See if it goes into the operating system now. Hear the beep. And look, the wheel, the Windows wheel. And it went right in. Wow, that's great. Okay. So let me go ahead and log in here. And we're in. Let me see. It looks like the internet is on. Let me open up a browser here and see if that shows up here. Looks like it's there. Yeah. The MSN. What the heck? And it's up. The internet is working. Okay. So with that, let me open up hardware info 64. Latest version. Go ahead and start. Okay. There it is. See, the cores are doing good. They're currently at 34 degrees centigrade, all the basic cores. Looks like at one point during the boot, core 1 went up to 44, but it's not that now. I'm not going to run any extensive testing on it right now. I just want to make sure we have basic functionality. And looking at all of the things here, it looks like we do. Yes, rock motherboard, memory timing. Let's open that up. CPU, Intel Core, performance limits. Let's see what we got there. Okay. I think we're doing okay. It saves the one drive over here. Let's see. Okay, so I think we're up. I think that pretty much proves that all these parts are working. That completes this video, 2A, or 2 part 1, depending on how we want to look at it. And then we'll do video 2 part B, which will put all of this stuff, along with the hard drives and fans and anything else that goes along with it, into the case. And then we'll test it again, make sure everything still works. And as I said before, part 3 will be the software install. It'll be NAS software, and I'm still, leaning towards true NAS, but we'll see. That could change. Well, for now, take care, and thanks for watching.